Driving a car worth $10 million is not just an automotive experience. It is an extraordinary journey that transcends the boundaries of luxury, engineering, history, and human emotion, because every second behind the wheel feels like you are not only controlling a machine but also touching a piece of art that has been meticulously crafted to embody perfection, exclusivity, and unimaginable power. And the very act of placing your hands on the steering wheel instantly triggers a surge of adrenaline mixed with nervous anticipation, since you know that the responsibility of piloting something so rare and irreplaceable is unlike anything else in the world. And as you slide into the driver's seat, which is often made from the finest hand-stitched leather sourced from the most prestigious tanneries, the aroma of luxury surrounds you while your eyes wander across a dashboard that is not cluttered with gimmicks but instead represents a balance of elegance and functionality, because in a car of this caliber, even the smallest details such as the stitching on the seats, the placement of each button, and the refinement of the instrument cluster are crafted to provide a sense of mastery over both art and engineering. And when you press the start button or turn the ignition, the engine roars to life with a thunderous symphony that reverberates through your chest, reminding you that under the sculpted hood lies not just any power plant but one that has been engineered to push the limits of speed, performance, and exclusivity. Because in a $10 million car you could be commanding a naturally aspirated V12, a quad-turbocharged W16, or even a hybrid masterpiece that seamlessly fuses cutting-edge electric power with old-school combustion ferocity, and the sound itself is not just noise but music to enthusiasts, deep and resonant, echoing the passion of the people who built it. And as you place the car into gear and begin to roll forward, every onlooker around you stops in awe, because they know what they are witnessing is not just a vehicle but a symbol of wealth, prestige, and rarity, since only a handful of people in the entire world will ever have the opportunity to see such a car in motion, let alone sit in it or drive it. And your senses immediately become heightened, every vibration through the steering wheel, every subtle movement of the suspension, and every sound from the exhaust amplified in your awareness, because you understand the gravity of what you are doing. And then as you press lightly on the accelerator, the car responds with immediacy, surging forward in a way that no ordinary vehicle ever could, pinning you to your seat as the G-forces remind you that beneath the luxurious exterior lies a beast built for speed and dominance. And when the road ahead clears and you dare to press harder, the acceleration is violent yet smooth, like being launched from a catapult while simultaneously gliding on a cushion of engineering brilliance. And you realize that driving a $10 million car is not about commuting from one place to another but about experiencing velocity, power, and control in its purest form, because the car feels alive in your hands, reacting to the slightest steering inputs with razor-sharp precision, gripping the asphalt with tires worth more than most entire cars, and transmitting every detail of the road beneath you in a way that makes you feel as if the car and your body are fused together. And as you weave through bends or open up on a straight stretch of tarmac, the aerodynamics, honed through countless hours of wind tunnel testing and design refinement, work in harmony with the suspension and braking system to give you the confidence that despite the astronomical value of what you're driving, it is capable of handling forces that would terrify an average driver. And at the same time, the awareness that you are in possession of something that could be considered a national treasure or a museum piece never leaves your mind, which is why every decision behind the wheel is a balance between unleashing the car's potential and respecting its rarity, because unlike mass-produced performance cars, a $10 million automobile is often built in single or double-digit numbers, sometimes even as a one-off commission, which means that damaging it would not only be financially devastating but would also feel like erasing a part of automotive history. And yet the temptation to explore its limits is irresistible, because this is what the car was made for: to move, to breathe, to roar, and to deliver an experience that cannot be replicated by anything else on wheels. And even when driving at moderate speeds, the exclusivity radiates from the car, people pointing their phones, drivers slowing down to get a closer look, pedestrians stopping mid-step to capture a glimpse, because such a machine commands respect, awe, and curiosity from everyone who lays eyes on it. And inside the cockpit, you find yourself overwhelmed with a mix of pride, nervousness, excitement, and humility, because you are keenly aware that you are experiencing what perhaps less than 0.0001% of the population ever will, and this realization amplifies every detail of the drive. From the way the sunlight reflects off the hand-polished paintwork that might have required hundreds of hours to perfect, to the way the exhaust note changes as you move through the gears. And speaking of gears, whether it's a lightning-fast dual-clutch system or a meticulously engineered manual transmission, each shift feels ceremonial, as if you are playing a role in a dance choreographed by some of the greatest automotive minds in the world. And even braking becomes an art form, as carbon ceramic discs the size of dinner plates bring this rolling masterpiece to a halt with surgical precision. And yet, despite all the performance and precision, there is always a human side to the experience. The knowledge that behind every component is a team of artisans, engineers, and visionaries who poured their passion into making something extraordinary, and that by driving it, you are continuing their story, carrying forward the legacy of what it means to truly push the boundaries of what an automobile can be. And as you drive through city streets, highways, or even a racetrack if you dare, you constantly shift between awe and fear, exhilaration and responsibility, because a car worth $10 million is not just about performance numbers like top speed or acceleration times. It is about the intangible feeling that you are part of something bigger, something that represents human ambition at its peak. And when the drive eventually comes to an end and you step out, shutting the sculpted door with a satisfying thud, you are left breathless, your heart still racing, your mind replaying every second, and you realize that driving a $10 million car is not just about the speed or the luxury or even the money, but about the privilege of connecting with a machine that is so rare, so special, and so alive that it reminds you what it truly means to dream without limits.